Did you hear the big news? Fortuna Silver posted their third quarter results and they set records both financially and from a production perspective. Today, we're fortunate to be joined by Jorge Ganoza. He's the CEO of Fortuna Silver. We're going to talk about those results, but we're also going to talk about how he's positioned the company now and what he sees in the future as they move into a new chapter for the company. Jorge, welcome to Ron's Basement.
Thank you, Ron, and a pleasure to be here once again.
Yeah. Well, I think congratulations are in order. You delivered in the third quarter. Does it feel like this is a new chapter for the company? As I know, this was the first quarter that we had the Séguéla mine production included in the results.
Yeah, in a way, I think of this third quarter of the year as an inaugural quarter. Why? Because it's the first time our Séguéla mine, our flagship asset, contributes to the results of the company, right? It's been a journey. It's been 2 years of hard work since the acquisition of Roxgold, which brought the West African asset portfolio back in 2021, mid-2021. So, yeah, the delivery of this successful construction is we're seeing the reward of that now, and we're quite happy. Absolutely.
So you're a silver mining company. That's where your roots are, but you've pivoted to producing more gold at this point, and the Séguéla mine is a gold mine. Can you tell us just some numbers surrounding what the all-in sustaining costs are, and maybe touch on, because I have this correct, I saw almost a 50% increase in gold production in this quarter, now that we have Séguéla in the picture.
Yes, Fortuna Silver Mines, that's our name, and that speaks to the heritage of the company today. Back 18 years ago, when we put the company together, our strategic focus at the time was silver, but that has changed over the years, and it's a journey that several other companies that start as silver producers and end up like us having more gold in the revenue, right? Some 5 years ago, silver accounted for probably 60% of our revenue. Today, gold accounts for 78% of our revenue and silver 15%, right? If you look at other companies like Pan American Silver, or one of the largest silver producers in the world in the primary space, Fresnillo, silver accounts for 20%, 30% of revenue. So we're not alone there, but yeah, today we're mainly a gold producer, and that's a strategic choice we made some years ago, to pursue as well opportunities in gold where we see more opportunity flow, right? With respect to the results, we delivered 128,000 ounces of equivalent gold. Let's talk about in gold equivalent terms. In the third quarter, that's 38% above what we did in the previous quarter, in Q2 at the end of June of this year. When we look at our sales, we generated revenue of $243 million, and that is an increase of 53% compared to what we did at the end of June for the second quarter. Our net earnings jumped to $27.5 million, or 9 cents per share. If we do an adjustment for one-time items, those 9 cents jump to 10 cents. The analyst consensus for the quarter on Fortuna was 6 to 7 cents per share, right? So a significant beat. But more importantly, we generated free cash flow from ongoing operations of $70 million. That's up from 9.5 in the previous quarter. So it was a tremendous quarter for us. And what was the driver? The Séguéla mine produced around 31,000 ounces of gold at an industry low all-in sustaining cost of $788, right? So that, and steady performance across the other 4 mines portfolio. All of that came together, and we had a record-breaking quarter in the company. Absolutely.
Wow. And as an investor, I'm always trying to look out into the future. And as you look out into the future with Fortuna, obviously you called it an inaugural quarter. I've referred to it as a new chapter for the company. It feels like to me, you've built this company over almost 20 years to a point now where 70 million in free cash flow for a company that has about a $1 billion market cap is significant. It feels like, Jorge, you've built for lack of a better term, a gold producing, cash flow producing machine that could move into the future and allocate that capital in several different ways for the continued growth of the company. I mean, you have the option of paying off debt. You have the option of organic growth. What are your thoughts as you look out into the future in terms of what you see next as we move into this new chapter for the company?
We have placed ourselves in a strong position to deliver shareholder value today and into the future. Since the Roxgold acquisition in 2021, we have successfully expanded and consolidated our business in 2 of the most prolific and exciting mining regions in the world, West Africa and Latin America. We have a balanced mine asset portfolio that offers multiple value-enhancing opportunities for our shareholders, right? And we don't see ourselves as a global player in the mining space. We see ourselves more as a regional player anchored in these 2 regions of the world that are well-established mining jurisdictions, where we see lots of opportunity flow and where we have strong high-value opportunities within our portfolios. So we currently have 11 drill rigs turning. There is nothing that creates more value in our business like a discovery, right? Mm-hmm. So we have 11 drill rigs working on some of these high-value discovery opportunities, primarily at the Séguéla camp. I refer to the Séguéla mine as a camp because we have a significantly large tract of land that we control under our concessions. And with the new Diamba Sud project in Senegal, we closed that acquisition in the month of September, and we already have 3 drill rigs turning there. And, reserve replacement at our Yaramoko and San Jose mines. That's also a priority where we're deploying a lot of capital and attention. So, we have a lot ongoing, and I think we're well positioned to deliver value today and into the future.
Yeah, and I want to emphasize for the viewers that are watching us now that yes, you are entering this new period for the company where there's going to be significant amounts of cash available to be deployed. And throughout your portfolio, it feels like there are multiple opportunities for you to achieve this organic growth. But I also want to circle back and congratulate you on the fact that since I've been following the company, you've now built 2 significant mines, and you've built one during the COVID-19 pandemic, the Lindero mine in Argentina, and now the Seguela mine in the Ivory Coast, which came in basically on budget and is up and running. That's a big accomplishment, and I think something that investors should consider. And again, I don't want to be discouraging to any of the other companies out there, but a lot of companies have had, let's say, challenges in their efforts to either pivot from silver to gold or even just to build mines. And your team continues to deliver. Any comments on that? On how what's your magic sauce? How are you able to accomplish this, Jorge? If you're looking to buy gold, silver, or platinum, do yourself a favor and check out Pimbex, the online precious metals bullion dealer and sponsor of Ron's Basement. I was a happy customer before they offered to support the channel. You'll find they have the best prices, quality, and service. I think Pimbex is best, and you will too. And be sure to tell them that you're from Ron's Basement.
You know, we make a lot of mistakes. We just try to keep them small. I'll tell you that. You know, first is a team, right? I am the CEO and of course a spokesman for the person, but behind me, I have close to 6,000 people that make Fortuna happen every day, right?
Yeah.
I work very closely with a senior executive team. It's a diverse team with mining professionals from different walks of life, and you know, lots of years and years of experience. So it's about planning. It's about really understanding, having a collective view of what creates value in this business. You know, my job is to create a company, to run a company that can thrive throughout the precious metals price cycles, right? To provide investors a vehicle where, you know, if you have a view on the value of the underlying precious metal, gold, silver, and you want to gain exposure to that through a mining company, you know, you can be sure that in Fortuna you find a vehicle that can perform throughout any price cycle, right? Because commodity prices go up and come down, and you want to make sure that the company you're invested on thrives in whatever environment, right? And to do that, you know, people is key, of course. And with people comes good selection of assets, and strong planning. You know, we spend a lot of time planning, and then once you plan, you go into battle and everything changes, and that's where the experience of your team comes into play, right? So disciplined capital allocation is also paramount. Yeah, lots of things come into play here. And I said, we make a lot of mistakes. We just try to keep them.
Yeah, I like that. Keep the mistakes small. You know, it's interesting to watch the company, Jorge. I follow you closely. I've been an investor for many years now. What do you see as you look out into the next year, let's say, as being some big catalyst or things that you're excited about when you think about Fortuna?
You know, Seguela has certainly more mileage to go on the production side and on the exploration front. We ended the quarter. So the third quarter, this inaugural quarter, we're celebrating with these extraordinary results. Was still a ramp-up quarter, right? Production was not stable throughout the quarter. It was increasing month after month. So we exited the third quarter in September with our throughput rate at the plant being 13% over the nameplate capacity. So in the shortest term, in this fourth quarter of the year, so to close the year, what we expect is to see a more steadier quarter in terms of throughput at a higher rate, right? So, you know, we're looking forward to that. So we expect even a more a stronger quarter in terms of production out of that mine. So that's one. Then exploration at Séguéla as well. It's we continue generating opportunity and advancing with our drilling. Diamba Sud in Senegal, it's another exciting high value opportunity that emerges in the portfolio through the acquisition of Chesser Resources late this year. So we're working there, we're drilling. And Yaramoko in Burkina Faso is looking very strong. On the back of high grades, that mine has surprised us really to the upside. So much so that we have upgraded guidance for the year at that mine. No? We made that public. We were expecting to produce around 100,000 ounces in 2023. And we have increased that guidance to the market for around 120. So that's looking very strong. And on the LATAM side of the business, the mines are performing steadily. We had an exciting discovery at our at the San Jose mine in Mexico, the Yessi vein. It's an exciting discovery. The discovery hole there returned almost 10 meters at 1.2 kilograms of silver equivalent ounces. That's a silver gold equivalent. So anytime you start talking about silver in terms of kilograms, it's exciting. Yeah. And particularly over widths of around 10 meters, right? So that's very exciting. We have 2 drill rigs turning there right now as we speak, pursuing that. So, you know, we have a diverse portfolio with multiple opportunities, challenges as well. Sure. Right? But we're tackling all of them. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's great to watch the company thrive and grow. And like you said, there's always going to be challenges in the mining sector. It's exciting to hear that with Séguéla, you've already had this level of success, but that there's room for even more growth, room for improvement. I mean, the mine really has been operational now for what, 4 or 5 months, and is it safe to say that you're just now starting to emerge from the ramp up process and moving, you know, more towards full production?
Yes. As I said, we only achieved a stable throughput in the at the end of the quarter. So coming into this first month of the fourth quarter of the year, October, and we're steadier now at a higher throughput rate than what we saw in the ramp up third quarter. You know, we recorded a cash cost per ounce at Séguéla of you know, $395 per ounce. That's like an industry low cost, right?
Yeah.
And our all-in sustaining cost, as I said before, under $800, $788. Those costs are likely to increase somewhat, yeah, because stripping, the removal of waste to access ore, that's what we call in the industry stripping rate, the stripping ratio, will increase according to our plans. And as the pit operations progress, haulage distances from the pit to the mill will increase as well. All of that within our plans. So we would expect that costs end up gravitating over the coming months more into what we have guided, you know, around $1,000 or under $1,000 per ounce for all-in sustaining cost, which is still an industry low figure. now what we reported in this third quarter was, how can I describe it? $788 for all-in sustaining and $395 for cash cost is extremely low, even for the low end of industry, right?
Yeah. Those are numbers from 20 years ago. So congratulations.
Yes.
You know, I hear you speak about your focus and the company's focus on what you can control, that you've built the company to weather, most any precious metals type environment. And, and your job is to deliver on on the projects and deliver on the initiatives of the company. But I think it's important to point out to the viewers that in doing that, is it safe to say it's almost like an option? There's a lot of optionality in the stock price and the company value. If we were to see much higher prices for silver and gold, that you're focused on doing what you need to do now. But as we move into the future, and if we are to see much higher prices, that the company's really in a position to thrive even further, because you're doing great right now in this environment. If metals prices go down, you'll survive. But if they do go up, the company could thrive even more.
No, I don't need prices to go up to thrive. We are doing extremely well today,
Yeah.
But prices go up, prices go down. I focus more on value, right? And I think today we have a very strong value proposition. Just on relative terms, for example, if you look at the multiples over free cash flow that Fortuna is getting today, compared to other peer companies in the mining industry, you'll see that Fortuna is getting discounted today, right? Why is that? Well, I think that, it's, as I said, we have changed the face of the company starting in this third quarter, right? And we're in a dismal equities market for mining, for mining equities, right? It's a dismal market.
Yep.
So there is really not a lot of capital flow. If I had an investor meeting, I had a lunch with investors in Europe some weeks ago, and I started saying, well, if you're sitting here today is because probably by definition you would be considered a contrarian, right?
Right.
There is not a lot of love for mining equities today, and I think that's impacting valuations and the attention that the sector is receiving. But we are in a cyclic industry, and I've seen that before. But so yeah, I see a big value gap, if you will, between what I see in the market and what I see in the business today in particular. But I can tell you that Fortuna has never been as strong as it is today or since its inception, right?
Yeah.
We're in a very strong position.
Yeah. Fortuna is very strong right now. And whether you want to look at the sentiment and the market or even potential for higher metals prices in the future, there's a lot of room for improvement in that area. But when it comes to what you can control and what you can deliver on, I think it's hard to say anything other than that Fortuna has done a great job. Is there anything I forgot to ask you, Jorge?
No, I think we touched on all the main topics. Yeah.
Well, I want to congratulate you again on a great third quarter. And I know on behalf of everyone who's joining us, viewing today, thank you for your time and sharing the information with us. And we are excited to see what happens with Fortuna in the coming quarters and years.
Thank you, Ron, and thank you again for the opportunity to speak to your audience.
Wow. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Jorge.
Bye.